Strap in and be prepared.
Maybe I'll learn from your failures.
That is what you could do.
Yeah.
Interesting guests.
Kelly Graves, Mike Parker, Josh Pate, George Ricer, Ryan Lee, Yogi Roth, who said that Justin and I are smart.
Sharp opinions.
I think Dan Lanning sitting in his office going, you know what, fine, give us the toughest road to win the national championship. That's what it should be.
Oregon State in their baseball program is still operating from a position of strength, even if they're independent. But here they are in the College World Series.
And some smiles.
It's iconic.
We're not keeping score, but maybe we're keeping score.
The fastest 60 minutes in sports is on the air. It's Danny Havel.
When I wake up every morning, I say to myself, what can I do to make Baby J's life better today?
Justin Grossweiner.
Have I ever told you, Danny, that growing up I really loved ducks?
Danny and Justin starts now on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport.
Hello, neighbors, and welcome to Friday on the fastest 60 minutes in sports talk. Live in Newport and Eugene from the Bigfoot Beverages studio. High atop the Delta Triad and the Crystal Palace, it is the Danny and Justin radio program. Follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Danny and Justin, spell out the and also wherever you pod. We're the Spotify, iHeart, Podverse, Podcast Addict, True Fans, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, we're everywhere. We are taking over the world one city at a time. Hello there, friends in Newport at KNCU 92.7 FM. The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline open for you at 541-343-5673. That's 541-343. Say it together, kids. 5673. We'll open that up for you if you want to hop on. We have a special guest. We'll talk about that in a minute. A few things to discuss today. We'll get to my Buffalo story, which we hadn't done yesterday. I didn't have any news and notes, by the way.
Oh, you didn't?
So you can do the news and notes segment. I will just comment. I will be like Howard Stern when they do news and all he does is just comment on everything. I think Howard does that as well. Talks over.
They both do.
Yeah, they do. So I'm Danny Havel. Right over there is my tag team partner. We call him Baby J, Justin Grossweiner. What up, boy?
Well, it's a little bit of a bittersweet day for me because it's my last full day with my cat Lavender, who I love dearly. And I think of animals almost like humans. They're almost like humans to me, Danny. And so
do we have any like soft music that we could play and maybe?
No, we only have the
hard
the
rock and
theme.
roll.
Well, no, we
no
might have
sentimental music. Find some sentimental music you can put
something
underneath that because you got to talk about this because you're getting wistful, and I understand the whole fur, kid thing that goes on. So. Especially if you're away from them for a while, and I was away from, my fur animals and especially my baby girl, Bella, for almost 8 days. And I just love it when I come home. Of course, you can be gone for 2 hours and you get the same greeting.
Right. Of course.
So did you find something appropriate? Are you still searching? Okay,
we're
losing the moment right now.
We're losing the moment.
It's going away fast. Yeah. So are you taking Lavender back home to
on
Mama
Saturday?
Kay? Yeah.
So that'll be a little bit sad. She's my childhood cat. So, it's been nice spending a couple weeks with her and getting the opportunity to take care of her every day and even deal with some of the things you don't want to deal with. But
like yesterday at Fred Meyer.
Like yesterday at Fred Meyer. I had to get some
cleanup stuff. Just say cleanup stuff. It's fine. But, so did you take a lot of selfies with Lavender?
Yeah, and I actually brought my camera home from the station to take some real legitimate photos.
Like glamour shots of the cat?
Yeah. I figured I might as well. Isn't that kind of cool? I don't know. Am I just like a crazy cat lady?
No.
It's not cool?
No, I didn't say it wasn't cool. I'm just saying I know where you're going with this, and I'm not going to go down that road.
Well, I'm not going down that road either.
Yeah, because I don't want this to turn into a blubberfest, two grown men, weeping. So
of course not.
We'll be talking about the $800 million that the Oregon legislature authorized and Governor Tina Kotek signed yesterday that will help finance Major League Baseball in Southwest Portland. We'll kind of get into that a little bit. We'll talk about the All-Star game with Mama Kay. Dr. Karen Grossweiner will be our guest today.
You did a little more research on her? Just like you're sleuthing, Yeah, I didn't tell you she was Dr. Grossweiner. You found that out on your own.
Yeah, I always try and research. I know I act like a numbskull on this show.
You're like a little private detective.
I learned that from my wife.
Yeah.
By the way.
Anybody can be nowadays with the internet.
Yeah, the internet's the greatest thing and the worst thing in the world all at the same time. Mm-hmm. But Dr. Grossweiner, we call her Mama Kay. Now, we're on a first name basis. Although I've never met her face to face. In fact,
we've been trying.
I've never been on a video call with your mom.
Yeah, well, you know what? Today was supposed to be the day you were going to meet her because
I know
but the problem is her car. So we'll talk about
So
that
we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah.
The elk that went to Elk Heaven.
Yeah.
Courtesy of
car
Dr.
was
Karen Grossweiner's.
So was the elk.
But she just got back from Chicago.
Yeah.
From Chicago, where you're going to be heading in a little bit.
Yeah, we're rotating.
Right. So, hi, Grandma, listening back in the Windy City, or just outside the Windy City. Glencoe, right?
Correct.
See, I remember. So I don't know why I remember certain things about this. Well, you're important to me, so I always try and remember certain things like that.
You're important to me, too.
Oh, God. Hug it out later. We're going to do a bro hug later. The Danny and Justin radio program live from Fox Sports Eugene and Newport. Don't forget Newport and our good friends out there. We've got a gift certificate to give away, another $20 in cash if you want to get some fireworks at Factory Fireworks Outlet. They're all around in Springfield and Junction City, Veneta. We got $20 to give away. We'll give that away in about 10 minutes. And I also want to remind you, we'll be down at the Back Nine Grand Opening event in the Sheldon Plaza, and I got that right now, Safeway Shopping Center. I call it the Safeway Shopping Center on Coburg, but it's the Sheldon Plaza officially. The grand opening event, a brand new indoor golf studio, the cutting-edge full-swing technology, food, competitions, open play, prizes, 1 to 6 tomorrow, 1 to 6 p.m., 1550 Coburg Road, officially the address, but when you drive into the parking lot, you'll see it. There's going to be a long drive contest closest to the pin. You can win a Lab golf putter with a custom fit, up to a $1,200 value, $500 in gift card giveaways. If you have not booked it yet and have not signed up, this will be a way to test drive it, and then you can get a membership, 24/7 access. And it's also for the kids as well. They have other games besides just golf. Now, if you're a golfer, you can check out the way your club is hitting the ball, your spin, how high your carry is, your velocity, all those things, all the tools you need to try and improve your game. And when the weather is bad, as it will get, even the summertime, it rains, you have 24/7 access to all the best courses in the world, not just in the United States, down there at Back Nine Golf. So we're going to be there tomorrow as well. Baby Jay will be there. I will be there. My wife will be there. Not sure Woody and Tino will be there yet, but okay, we'll see about that. I know Mims will be there as well. I forgot Goose.
Can't forget Goose.
Got to text him, make sure he's going to be there. But come on down and join us and join our good friends, Travis and Katie, the owners. Now, again, I also want to emphasize local ownership, okay? These two people, this couple, put their heart and soul and their dollars behind this, and supporting local people is important. This isn't some faceless conglomerate that's based in Houston, Texas, or whatever. Sorry, I didn't mean to pick on Houston. It just came up into my head. So support the local folks as well, okay? Please. Back Nine. They're a good sponsor of our program as well, so we thank them for their support of our little radio program here. So what do you got, news and notes? Oh, by the way, sorry. Can I say this one more thing?
Yeah.
Sorry. One more thing. So I had a very nice honor today. I got a phone call from my buddy Cougar. You know I do this Miho Golf Ryder Cup thing down in Vegas in October. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing it for, I think this will be my 5th year now, but they've been doing it for over 20 years. And it's a bunch of guys that come down. We have a great time. Some of us only see each other once a year. This is the time we do it. And I was asked today to be a captain.
Oh.
Which is a huge honor. Almost made me cry.
Wow.
It is an honor and a scepter that I will carry with pride.
Can you contextualize this?
So, a captain of the Ryder Cup team, I will help build the team. I will pick the matchups to try and win, just like Keegan Bradley's going to do for the U.S. against Europe in the real Ryder Cup. So, I'll put all the matchups together and try and win the prize, the big prize.
You're the head honcho.
I'm Keegan Bradley this year for one side of it. And my buddy Nurse Pete, he's a male nurse, Pete Rudkin, is going to be my co-captain. I just got off the phone with him. Everyone has a nickname in our groups. I just got off the phone with him, and he said yes. It was just like I was proposing to him. So there, the little personal aside. It's very important to me.
No, that's awesome.
So I'm very happy about that. All right, so you got news and notes?
Yeah, unless you want to talk about the NBA draft first.
You want to talk about the second day of the NBA draft? Because I didn't watch one lick of it.
I watched a little bit.
I knew you would.
I didn't watch too much of it. I mean, it just really isn't particularly interesting.
Well, and the Blazers didn't even have a pick.
Blazers didn't have a pick.
So that's kind of, if they would have had a pick, I might have put an eye towards it. because my wife had pottery class last night, so I was
they got
all
Young
by myself.
Hansen in the second round, don't you know?
By the way, we Young Hansen. That's what we're going to call him. That's what the Blazers are going to call him. There's a whole debate about Hansen Young Hansen. We're going to call him Young Hansen. That is, and this radio
we could call
program,
him Handsome Young.
We could now see. Now, you're going to throw other stuff
Handsome
in there.
Young Hansen.
I just want to say Young Hansen.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister.
You can say that if you want.
I'm not going to say that. I'm going to trip over it multiple times.
So second day of the draft, you had so they split up between 2 days, more like an NFL type thing, right?
It has to be. That has to be the thought.
Well, they want to get eyeballs on it. I mean, they're thinking, well, baseball numbers might be down. Too.
Why was the draft on? Was it starting on Thursday? Or Friday or Wednesday? So why did it start on the Wednesday after the finals ended, Game 7?
I don't know.
Why did we have 3 days to breathe on that and get over?
Well, because
one of the most
you know
major
why?
Finals injuries.
Well, you know why?
Seen?
Because they start summer league in a few weeks.
I know, but why?
The NBA is almost a year-round sport anymore.
No, I understand, and there is a little bit of a dead time after free agency and whatnot. But my point is this: like, why couldn't you wait till Thursday or Friday?
Well, you probably could have, but again, it's about where you're going to slot it in the TV.
But wouldn't it be better to do that on Thursday or
I'm
Friday?
not saying no,
or Saturday,
but they're
or
looking
Sunday?
at the TV schedule, and that's the way they do it. They don't want to wait. And Wednesday is middle of the week.
Are they worried about all the baseball games going on?
Maybe.
I don't think they should be.
I mean, the NFL draft is like on a Wednesday night, isn't it, or Tuesday night? That's what it was.
Is it?
It was.
I can't remember. The NFL draft's different though, because the NFL draft is the NFL draft.
No, maybe it was a Thursday. No, it was a Thursday night.
Yeah, I feel like it's a Thursday.
Yeah, first one's Thursday.
It's later in the week for sure. And
Correcting
it used to
myself
be
as I'm thinking back.
On Saturday.
Yeah,
I used to remember waking up.
They used to do it all.
I know.
In
it was
a day.
great. I loved that. I loved basically just sitting around and just watching the whole draft. It was great.
And nobody knowing who was being picked.
Right. Except for the first pick, which sometimes would be signed the previous day or whatever. But other than that, you're right, where it would literally be as they came to the podium. You would be
surprised.
And the trades would be announced, and it would be exciting. I love that.
So I
love a good crowd pop, and you get a good crowd pop sometimes.
So you watched a little bit of it.
I watched some of it. I mostly watched for the names. A couple of the names that were in the top of the draft were sort of interesting. Rasheer Fleming went to Houston, and then
Houston's
Johnny
building a pretty good team.
The Phoenix. Did I say Houston or did I say Phoenix?
You said Houston.
Okay, well, I meant Phoenix.
Okay.
Good thing you repeated me. So he went to Phoenix. Excuse me.
I put Houston in your head when I said Houston, Texas. I did.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And then I was thinking of Johnny Broom, who went to the Sixers from Auburn. So he was on that great team. A couple names that were interesting, but for the most part, it's sort of really hit and miss. Will Richard. From Florida. He was part of that big scoring trio for the national champions. He went to Memphis, fourth to last pick. So, I just didn't think it was particularly interesting, and all these guys are pretty much wait and see whether or not they're going to actually even be NBA players. But I actually do love the Summer League, I have to say. The Summer League's fun. And for Blazer fans, I think it's going to be definitely worth tuning into the Summer League.
Jan Hanson's going to be playing a lot.
And I think
Cooper Flagg's going to play a lot for the Mavericks.
We didn't even talk about this. And yeah, that's always fun. And they'll probably play like one game, to be honest with you.
Well, they're not going to risk injury.
No, they'll literally play Cooper Flag like one game or 2 games, and then they'll pull him.
That'll be it.
But for teams like the Blazers with Young Hansen, then I think it's really interesting. And we didn't talk about how the Combine was when he really boosted his stock, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like the Blazers were talking to him for a long time.
Yeah,
but
2 years.
Other, I guess, I don't know, people around the NBA, I guess, sort of really started to notice him more when he went to Chicago and performed at
the Combine. But he still was not on anybody's draft board
I'm
for
not
the first and second round.
But he was a riser. He was at least a little bit of a riser, and that at least maybe can show. And I was wrong yesterday, by the way, about when we were talking about round 1 of the draft. I mean, maybe you look at Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota does take him at 17 because they did take a center from France.
Joe Cronin absolutely was convinced somebody was going to take him.
I think so, and not a lot of centers taken after that.
Okay.
The last one was in the last pick of the first round, but I just think that you only do that if you think someone's going to take him, and you love him.
Agreed. So, by the way, for Oregon fans, TJ Bamba is going to play the summer league with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
Of course, Bamba averaged 10.5 points, a little over 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists, about 2 steals for the Ducks. He was all Big Ten defensive team, but John Chepkovich is reporting this, that TJ Bamba is going to join the Brooklyn Nets for the NBA Summer League. And the Nets, we were wrong. The Nets had 5 picks, not 6 in the first round.
Well, they had 5 horrendous picks, and then they took Danny Wolf, who I like because he's from Glencoe. But
they were roundly knocked upside the head for what they did in the draft.
And just getting back to
wasted
TJ Bamba for a second, I think that he does have a legitimate shot, which is his defense, and he really can impact games at times with his defense. And so the biggest thing is his shot is definitely needs to be worked on. Like 100%, he's not going to be able to make it if he's shooting. But
listen, there are
like 14%. I think
there is a way that obviously with a lot of work and some more coaching, it can improve. Yeah. But there are guys that have hung their hat and had very nice NBA careers that are defensive-minded players.
100%. And I hope that he gets an opportunity with a team other than the Nets because of just how many guards they drafted.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing a wing, so yeah, he would be the odd man out there. But you know what? If he gets enough tape and good tape, that's where you can sell yourself to another team and get noticed.
Exactly. The important thing to know is that, yes, he's playing for Brooklyn, but really he's auditioning for Brooklyn and everybody
on the team. Yeah. That's a great point. The Danny and Justin radio program live from the Bigfoot Beverages studio in Newport and Eugene here for a Friday coming up. It's Mama Kay. It's Dr. Karen Grossweiner. But first, news and notes.
All right, we're going to race through these. Have you been keeping up with Erling Haaland in his career?
No.
Oh, are you not familiar with him? He's a striker for Man City, and he is a really excellent player. He scored 300 goals faster than Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, among others. So he just did that at age 24 at the FIFA Club World Cup. And he has done it in 370 games, which is faster than Kylian Mbappe, 409 games, Lionel Messi, 418 games, and Cristiano Ronaldo in 554 games. So how I would describe Erling Haaland is he is not flashy, but he is like the Terminator. I think that may be something along his nickname, but he's big, he's strong, and he just finishes. That's all he does is he's just efficient. He's not flashy. He just gets the ball in the net. So he's a fun player to watch. He's only 24 years old. He really burst onto the scene a couple of years ago. So you should get yourself
he can play. All right, I will get to know because I love the beautiful game.
It is, and I think that Erling Haaland's a guy that you certainly would like.
All right.
Speaking of Kylian Mbappe, he's suing PSG. I don't know if you heard about this.
I did hear about this.
For moral harassment. So PSG, man, what a fall from grace they've had over the last couple of years. So he's arguing that PSG owes him 55 million euros, which is 61 million US dollars in unpaid wages, and he's denouncing the lofting, which is the practice that's described as isolating a player from the main squad for sporting, administrative, or disciplinary reasons. So after telling the team he did not want to extend in 2023, which I don't know if you remember that was a whole big deal. People thought he would leave then.
Yeah.
And he was left off of the preseason tour in Japan and South Korea and forced to train with fringe players. So they said they would rather sell him than let him leave in 2024. But that's exactly what he did for free on a free transfer over to Real Madrid. And now he's thriving over there.
So one thing that just caught my ear there, how would you like to be referred to as the fringe players?
I mean, that's just the reality.
Okay, but I mean, there's a group of guys, they're trying hard too, and they're just like, those are the fringe players.
Right,
that
but
he's
if you're
with.
killing Mbappe, then you're playing with the guys that are hoping to make the team. I can see why you'd be maybe a little bit insulted. I think mostly the money's probably the biggest part there.
Well, this will just get settled, is what'll happen.
Speaking of money, an autographed Michael Jordan rookie card sold for $2.5 million, and that was the highest ever paid rookie card for Jordan, and the most ever for a Fleer that was signed, because it was a 1986-87 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card. And by the way, it was sold at Pharrell Williams auction house. I don't know if do you know who Pharrell Williams is?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure. Yeah, did you know he has an auction house?
No, I didn't know he had an auction house.
All these celebrities have
crazy random.
Right? I know, right? So that was sold at the auction house of Grammy award-winning artist Pharrell Williams. And not the highest ever paid Jordan card is the, I think, third highest. There was a one-of-one 2003 Upper Deck $2.928 million card that was sold in, I don't have the year. So I think it was pretty recently, though. So, yeah, the sports card thing, man. I kind of get it. I kind of get it now, and especially for players that are like Michael Jordan. And these are real people. It's not like these are collector's items that are like, made up stuff, right? So I can kind of understand the appeal there.
So I'm going to hook you up with my buddy Jeremy, who is a card aficionado. He's been doing this for a long time. He can get you started. You're going to get hooked.
I might have to go to their 88 sports cards.
That would be great, but I'm warning you.
I know.
This is Dad talking here.
Okay? I won't get too hooked. I promise.
I'm going to be watching you.
No, I think I'll be good. I think I'll be good.
So, would you rather assume a team that's already playing and doesn't have a great record or a great track record, or would you rather pick your own team through the expansion? We'll talk to Mama K, Dr. Karen Grossweiner, about that and other things. All-Star Game, her most favorite All-Star Game of all time. We might ask her that question. Does she have a favorite this year? Who's her favorite player this year? Who's her least favorite player this year? All those questions and more will be answered next on the Danny and Justin radio program.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Mom, Mommy, Mama, Mom, Mama.
What?
Hi.
Mother burned me?
Apparently.
Oh, my God, that's classic her.
You're both classic her.
Boy, oh boy, Mom, you sure can hydrate a pizza.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
You're the real MVP.
You want good advice? You listen to your mother.
That was epic. The Danny and Justin radio program live in Eugene and Newport at KNCU 92.7 FM. And on a Friday, we go to the Oregon Man Clinics hotline and welcome in Baby Jay's mom. We call her Mama K. It's Dr. Karen Grossweiner joining us here on a Friday. Mama, you made it to Chicago and back, but you were in a big accident. We talked about it on the air. You were in a big accident with an elk on I-5. First, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be back again.
And it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm glad you're all in one piece. So what was going through your mind when that elk goes bouncing off your car?
Well, that was incredible. I see this, dark, majestic shape, and I'm going, 60 miles down the interstate. And this thing appears in front of me. There's no chance of not hitting it. So I see it, and luckily, and there's a big collision, and my airbag deploys and stuff. Luckily, I'm really good in emergencies because the first thing I do is I start to downshift because the car, of course, is coming to a stop, and I start to downshift. And I put the flashers on immediately.
Were you in NASCAR or something? What was your previous life here?
She calls me a couple hours after she had left, and it was about the amount of time that it would take to get to Portland. And so and she never does this, but I was expecting a, hey, I'm in Portland now call. And she says, hey, I got hit by an elk. And I said, oh, wow, are you okay? Are you in Portland? And she's like, oh, no, the car's totaled. I'm out by Woodburn or whatever. And I was
Did it go just like that?
So calm?
Were you that calm?
I was pretty calm. I mean, the crazy thing was I was in the center lane of the interstate. And so I have these giant trucks that are barreling forth on both sides of me. And I have to figure out how to get my car over the shoulder before somebody crashes into me.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I had a mild abrasion on my shoulder and a little black and blue mark, and that was it. I was astoundingly
so lucky.
So be careful at night, everyone driving on I-5.
Absolutely, head on a swivel. But there was nothing you can do there. I mean, if the elk wanted the elk wanted to go, it wanted to go. Maybe it was getting out of a bad relationship or something. I have no idea what was going on with the elk. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel really bad about the elk.
Of course you would. On that. Of course you would feel bad about the elk. That's the kind of heart you have. It's Mama K joining us, Dr. Karen Grossweiner on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. Danny and Justin here for a Friday. Well, let's get down to brass tacks. The Oregon legislature has passed a bill that authorizes, this is Senate Bill 110, authorizes the state to fork over up to $800 million in bonds to help finance a Major League Baseball stadium in Southwest Portland. Governor Tina Kotek signed it yesterday. My question to you is, are you excited about the possibility of baseball in Portland?
I'm extremely excited by that. Having a local team is wonderful. I grew up with a local team. I mean, I grew up going to games all the time. And having something that I could, basically, hop on public transit, hop on a bus and go see a baseball game? Wow, that would be incredible. So it'd be incredible for Portland, it'd be incredible for Portland residents, I think.
By the way, if people are asking how it's going to get funded, the taxpayer themselves are basically going to give the loan out. It's going to be in bonds, and the bill says they're going to divert income taxes from the team's players and some of the employees to pay off bonds. So they're not taking money away from the players and the employees. They're just going to take the tax revenue that they generate. And, in some of these big multi-million-dollar contracts, payrolls of $500 million, they'll pay this off in pretty short stature. But they have 30 years to pay it off. So it is exciting. But my question as well is, we are now a group of, we already have fandom with another team. The three of us, we're entrenched with the Cubs, and there's plenty of Giants fans around here, and Dodger fans, and obviously Mariner fans.
A lot of those fans up in Portland, for sure.
Right, a lot of those. So how do you think, and what do you think would happen with that? Are we going to now split our fandom between a Portland professional baseball team and the one that we've been following for years and years and years? And can we do that? Can we really have two masters in this?
Well, it seems to me, I've moved a lot. Academics tend to move a lot before you get settled. And so I myself, that, especially like with something like football. And when I was growing up, I was a Bears fan. And then I lived in San Francisco. And so I was a 49ers fan as well as being a Bears fan. I go up to Madison to do my graduate degree, Madison, Wisconsin. I become a Green Bay Packer fan. So I think it's something. And at that point, I was no longer a Bears fan because you really can't do Packers and Bears.
No.
But no. So I think that they're, depending upon if a team is one of your major rivals, then you can't do both of them. But other than those, yeah, I think it's kind of fun to have two teams that you're following. So,
well, especially if they're on opposite sides of the main
AL,
team that you're
NL,
following, right? And we talked about this yesterday, man. We had a conversation about these a new team, and it'd be Portland and probably another team if they wanted to keep an even amount of teams in Major League Baseball. But I think an interesting conversation becomes, if you are rooting for Portland to get a baseball team, is would you rather have it be an expansion team, or would you rather have it be a team that already exists, say the Rays, or maybe it's going to end up being a team like the Athletics? I think they're going to end up Vegas.
No, they're going to end up in Vegas, though.
But my point is, it seems to me with an expansion draft where there's going to be 3 rounds, but there's 30 picks in each round, and in the first round it'd be only the top 15 players from each team being protected. We kind of had a conversation about this with, you could make a pretty good team getting the 15th best player on every roster, right?
I think so. It's one of the things that I was thinking about. It depends upon your contention windows. So when, how you would choose players in an expansion draft would be how long you think it's going to take you to contend, and how long that contention window is going to be from. Because you're going to start to build a team, but you're obviously not going to build a team that's going to contend that year, the next year, the year after that, whatever. So, but you can certainly build a team with, I think, tremendous potential.
Right.
And
would
then,
you want to do a team that's a younger team that has some of those prospects, or would you try to get some of those guys that are, I wouldn't call them like win now players, but like real Major League Baseball players that you kind of know what you're going to get?
Right. I would go for a younger team myself, because you want to have enough players that your team is interesting enough that people are going to come and they're going to be exciting enough to make it a worthwhile experience. And you want to, of course, build up the excitement for the team, not just, to go to an individual game. But it's, to me, you're basically designing for the future. So you're going to want to pick based on that.
And another thing we talked about too, something that we've heard about for baseball up in the Northwest, is the weather. And so what do you think about that? Do you think that if the season's going from March to now it's going to November, is that viable for Portland for baseball?
Well, they do it in Seattle, so it should be viable. I mean, the beginning and the end won't be optimal, but that's, a lot of cities have this problem. I mean, you can start out baseball in the upper Midwest in March, or April. People can be basically, wearing mufflers and winter jackets and scarves.
Right.
And, you play in Arizona in July and August, and it's going to be, it's going to be incredibly hot. So I think that's just, with outdoor sports, it's just part of the game. So, so I think it's feasible. I mean, if you hit an amazing, rain in Portland is, it's downpour rain. It's not just, and it's steady and it lasts for hours. So I think it'll have to be, I think you would have to plan the schedule so that there are, there are rain out days that are, assumed games are going to be rained out at particular times of the year, that, there's time to, for those games to be played.
Well, the Portland Diamond Project, that's that private group that's spearheading the city's pursuit of a major league team, and they've already drawn up plans. By the way, we've got Mama Kay on the line on the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline at 541-343-5673. It's Dr. Karen Grossweiner, Justin's mom, joining us for another visit. We always love having her on the program. The Diamond Project, actually, the plans that I've seen submitted all have retractable roof. So they're taking into account that
I was kind of wondering about that.
The city that they're going to be based in is it gets a little wet, and it can come at any time of the year, and especially when you start moving into the early part of the season, obviously, and then the latter part. Hopefully you're playing in September and October. Yes, it will rain. So yeah, retractable roof, and any more in any city, I think, that's got even a hint of either excessive heat or excessive climate in terms of precipitation.
Weather,
is going towards the retractable roof anymore. I mean, there's very few open-air stadiums in Major League Baseball except for certain, Chicago will never put a roof over. Of course, we said that about no lights at Wrigley Field for forever. So, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So let's move. You have a comment on that? I heard an intake of air.
Right. I mean, I understand why stadiums have retractable roofs, but oh man, I mean, there is much that is lost. I mean, there is just nothing like, it's the experience of, you're sitting there at Wrigley Field and it's drizzling and you have on your, you have all your gear on.
Poncho.
And it's just, part of the game.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I agree. But, they want to make sure they get in as many games as possible because it's all about the revenue. They got to pay those multi-million-dollar contracts to these guys that we watch and support. So let's move our attention towards the All-Star game. Did you like way, way back when Bud Selig decides, hey, we're going to make the All-Star game mean something, he thinks, by awarding the AL or NL, if they win the game, the home field advantage no matter what the records are when you get to the postseason and the World Series? Did you like that when that happened?
Well, I'm an NL fan. Right. And I think the AL won like every single year.
Absolutely. I hate it. I'm just going to tell you, I hated it.
At all.
It's like you're taking all the power out. So why go through the regular season and have the best record overall if it's not going to be the reward at the end of the year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you watch the All-Star game?
I love the All-Star game. Definitely. I love the Home Run Derby. I love the All-Star game. I mean, it's great. It's great.
So who's your favorite All-Star of all time? Can I narrow this down, or maybe it's a couple of players that you were like, I am so glad they made this game? Can you remember? Yeah, I know. I'm asking you to go back through a lot of years, and I'm sure it's a Cub, but go ahead and tell me.
It was probably Ryan Sandberg.
Great choice.
I mean, I remember the Sandberg years, and that was great, and I loved him.
What about Shohei Ohtani?
Well, now it's Shohei Ohtani. I'm just like, I'm half a Dodgers fan, which drives Justin insane.
Yeah. Sorry, Woody. And everyone else in the office is a Dodger fan.
Everyone else in the office is a Dodger fan. So you are not alone in this. Oh, that's fantastic, though.
I watched. I'm always checking out what the Dodgers are doing and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's just I was in Chicago when Michael Jordan was playing, and it's just a privilege to be around at a time when you have these just extraordinary players.
Well, do you think that the Major League Baseball All-Star game works better than the other All-Star games now? The Pro Bowl doesn't even exist anymore. They don't actually play a game. And
they play
NBA,
flag football now.
It's in the NBA. It's absolutely just like
it's a joke.
It's just pathetic at this point. So why do you think it works better in Major League Baseball than it does in these other sports?
I think because, first of all, the players, they play.
They like to compete.
And, you know, they like to compete. But, it's not an honor they turn down as it is in, say, some of the other sports that you mentioned. It's like, I mean, you're never going to get a pitcher that's going to, lob a bunch of balls so that there's a million home runs. In an All-Star game. So the game is it's more similar to a regular game with just and it's also, baseball is such an odd sort of combination individual/team game. So, so it's not it's not like something like football or something like basketball, which, when the players don't play together. Normally, they don't have that sort of rhythm with one another. So I don't know. I mean, I think it works really, really well.
Dr. Karen Grossweiner joining us on the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline here, live from Newport and Eugene from the Bigfoot Beverages studio. It's Danny and Justin here for a Friday. We call her Mama Kay. So who's your least favorite player right now in Major League Baseball? The one you just turns your stomach.
I don't know if she has one.
No, she does. I know. I'm setting you up. I know what the answer is, but I want you to say it.
I don't really have a least. I mean, there's players on, say, the Cubs, which is my team, that I think are overrated or I think aren't worth their contract.
Okay, so maybe I can maybe I can read. No, I know. I'm not going to make you. That was unfair of me to ask you to say a player's name. So, what type of player do you dislike that plays in Major League Baseball? The type of player.
I guess it's a player where, and this is sort of my feeling about analytics. It's a player where analytics. And Justin knows exactly who I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It's a player where analytics rates them highly. And if you watch the games, you're like, So, or...
You don't like hot doggers, Mom.
And I don't like hot doggers. That's
yeah.
No, I know. It's this is the PCA conversation.
No, I told you didn't have to say a name. You didn't. I didn't.
Okay. This is like, PCA is an extraordinarily talented player. The Cubs are extraordinarily lucky to have him. So it's not, No, there's not really a but.
Okay.
It's, there really can't be a but with a player like that.
Yeah, she doesn't like his throwing tempers, which I think maybe harkens a little bit back to my childhood because I was a very gracious winner, but an extremely sore loser. So maybe there's a little bit of a connection between, and I just heard that there, but maybe there's a little bit of connection between what you see from PCA and what you saw from me when I was a kid.
I think Mama wants to expand on that. You have the floor.
Oh, on Justin?
Yes.
Well, no, Justin was an amazing winner. He was right. He would go to, when he was a kid playing sports, he would really kindly go to the other team and say, you played really well. And it was great. But when he would lose or his favorite teams would lose, he would cry, slam doors, or, he would
I would throw a fit. Break my glasses?
He broke his glasses?
How many pairs?
He broke, glasses, at least 2 to 3 pairs a year by throwing them.
Wow.
Yeah. He'd take them off his head and just the team would lose. He'd take his glasses off and throw them across the room. And he was pretty athletic, so it went far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to manage that as I got older.
So we have to watch a game together. Can we please get that arranged?
See, the logistics, I was very disappointed because I was going to drive down to Eugene today and we were going to watch the Cubs play Houston.
Yeah.
No, I just logistically it's complicated. But yes, I'm looking forward to meeting you. It'd be great fun to watch a game together. So it might be Danny in Portland.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Okay, well, you got to check with my wife on that. You got to check with Deb on that. I don't run my schedule anymore. I have people that do that for me. But I would love to watch a game with you, and I'm so glad that you came out of the elk incident okay. You made it back from Chicago okay. Your son is heartbroken that he has to bring Lavender back up, but he will be delivering your dear Lavender tomorrow, and we really love having you on the program, Mama.
Well, I love being on, and thank you again so much for having me here. It's so much fun to do.
Well, we appreciate you. We'll have you back again. All right, love you, Mama. We'll talk to you later.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right,
Bye-bye.
see ya. There she goes, the great Dr. Karen Grossweiner, Mama K, with great insight and glasses. You broke a lot of glasses.
I did.
And, oh, boy.
My Harry Potter glasses, because I used to get I used to look like Harry Potter. I was a Harry Potter-themed
kid.
Glasses. No, literally the brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. As we go to break, why don't you dial up the Oregon Man Clinics hotline right now? Be caller number 8. Caller number 8 right now will give you a $20 cash certificate for Factory Fireworks Outlet. They're in Springfield right now, in Junction City, in Veneta, selling all the fireworks at factory prices. Factory Fireworks Outlet. $20 gift certificate. 343-5673. Caller number 8 right now, Danny and Justin. Great visit with Dr. Karen Grossweiner. We call her Mama K, Justin's mama. As we talked, we talked about the Portland Diamond Project, the new baseball stadium that hasn't been built. So I guess we need to pump the brakes a little bit on this, by the way, Baby J. Thanks for tuning in. Live from the Bigfoot Beverages studio, by the way, in Newport and Eugene. 92.7 FM, KNCU out there on the coast. Here on a Friday. We just have a few minutes left on the program. We've got Canzano coming up next here on the old radio station. They haven't even broke ground on the stadium. I think they want a commitment from Major League Baseball, obviously, before they build, because even if they get the, okay, you're going to have a team, it wouldn't be until, I would imagine, 2027. That they would have a team. That's the long ramp that they would need to build, get all the approvals. I think they've identified the right site. Have you seen it right down there by the waterfront?
Yeah, I'm looking at a
that
picture
area
right now.
Very well.
There's some really cool stuff around there and great views. I mean, it really would be a beautiful place to put a ballpark, I think.
And that area I know very well is one there. I've stayed in some of the hotels that are right down there, right by there. And it's a nice spot. The thing I'm going to be curious about is where they're going to put all the parking as well. Because that's a tight little area down there.
It is. Parking on the west side of Portland is certainly not my favorite thing to do, and especially in downtown, and that's, I guess, right south of downtown, so it's not quite in that area. But I do have some question marks about that, but I do like the area, and I think that it is – I agree. I like the spot. I think they should keep it there.
Monday's program, we're going to have Jeff Oliver from Tracktown USA here, and I think in studio, right around 2 o'clock. We're going to kind of move things around on the show because he is going to be a busy, busy boy. We got the Prefontaine coming up on July 5th at Hayward Field, and if you have never gone to a Prefontaine before, it is something you definitely need to do and should do. So we'll have Jeff Oliver here on the program on Monday next week. So I teased this yesterday, didn't get to it, so got to get to it today. And there's very few things I can say. You know, I can't. I've never ridden a bucking bronco in a rodeo or anything like that. And I've never free climbed or never jumped off of a building and parachuted, any of that kind of stuff.
You're not an adrenaline junkie.
Not really. No. But I have ridden a buffalo. So the Finney County, my wife's going to remember this, the Finney County Fair in Garden City, Kansas. And I was operating a radio station cluster down there in Garden City. And I was the sports guy. I was the ops guy. I was station manager down there. Small town in western Kansas. Nice people. I wouldn't recommend living there, for a long period of time.
Perfectly understandable.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, and you can see nowhere from there.
I've lived plenty of places that I wouldn't recommend living.
Yeah, but again, very nice people. So they had, and fairs there are big deals. They had a zoo in a town of like 30,000 people. They had a zoo.
Oh wow!
And a great zoo. The Richardson Zoo is a fantastic zoo.
Good, cool. But I think it's always great to grow up with a zoo.
The fair is a huge deal. I mean, from miles around, people would come. And they would bring in all different kinds of wild animals. Pigs, goats, cows, all that stuff. And they would bring in buffalo. Well, they decided that it would be a great idea one year to have select people from different media outlets have a race riding buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That sounds interesting.
Frightening is what it was. And
so you participated in the race?
I participated in the race.
Wow. On a
finished
buffalo.
second. I finished second.
How big is a buffalo?
Huge. I mean, the smaller, the babies.
Is it bigger than a moose?
Oh, yeah.
Moose are pretty big, man.
So go look up a buffalo. There was no, and the smell was interesting.
Okay. And
the hair on a buffalo is very dense.
Thick, right? Yeah.
Very dense.
Yeah.
And it was like, do we have a Nope. No saddle. No spurs. Nope.
It's why they were
hop
hunted.
right on its back.
That's why there's a lot less buffalo than there used to be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And it was probably the most terrifying 17 seconds of my life.
17 seconds?
17 seconds.
Wow.
We were running in a straight line, and the buffalo knew where it was going, and I was hanging on for dear life.
Did they have a harness or?
It was just a rope. Just a rope
around its neck, or what?
Yeah.
How did the
which
buffalo
I don't think the buffalo liked that very much, to be honest. And I think that's why both the buffalo and I were in agreement that we both didn't want to be there
after the 17 seconds.
And I was just like, this is it. I'm never doing that. And I have not done that ever since. But I can honestly say.
How many years ago was that?
Oh, my gosh. I'm going to ask my wife to remind me. I think it was 2007 or 2008.
Okay, well, I won't say how old I was then. But it definitely was. It sounds like a great experience for one time.
Right. And the reason I bring it up is because Jeff Oliver has asked us to run in a relay race. Remember?
Yes. Well, what day is that?
I have no idea yet. Maybe we'll find out on Monday.
I'm happy to do that.
I don't know if I'm happy to do that.
As long as I'm here.
You'll be here. We'll make sure you're here.
No, I would love to. I would love to. I'll anchor.
All right.
I'm a runner, man.
Okay. Well, then I will do the first. I will do the first part
leg.
of it.
I'll anchor.
And you'll anchor? Good, because I'll be. By the time you're done, I'll have caught my breath.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, back 9 again, the grand opening this weekend, indoor golf 24/7 access in the Sheldon Plaza, 1 to 6 tomorrow. We'll see you out there. I'll be out there as well. So will Baby J. Longest drive and closest to pin contest. You can win a Lab golf putter, custom fitting, $1,200 value, $500 gift card giveaways. Check it out. And you're going to want a membership. Indoor golf and other games as well for the entire family at the Back 9. If you want to get better at your game, this is the place to do it.
Oh, a joke!
I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
Dad jokes!
I don't know which one I want to do here. Oh, where's the electric cord? Go to shop. The electric cord, go to shop. The outlet mall.
That was right there. I haven't gone to an outlet mall in a while.
What now?
I haven't gone to an outlet mall in a while, so I wasn't thinking about it. But that's a good one.
Your mom hit an elk right by an outlet mall.
Near one. It's been a while since I've been to Woodburn. It's been a while. I need to go back.
So when you drive past it, are you going to have a little PTSD looking for?
Yeah, I'm going to be
looking around your head on a swivel the whole time.
I know.
All right, Monday's program, we will have Jeff Oliver joining us from Tracktown, USA. Thanks for tuning in this week, Baby J. Nice week of shows, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
it was fun.
You did the first two. I brought it down the home stretch with you. So we'll talk to you on Monday. Have a great weekend. God bless. Put a smile on your face. Someone else's. They deserve it. So do you. For Justin Grossweiner, I'm Danny Havel. Peace.